Hi, my name is Charlie, and I'm going to tell you about environmental consulting. In order to be an environmental consultant, you need to have a few very important skills. The number one most important is strong communication skills. You need to be able to explain to your clients why each initiative you're giving them is important, how it will help, and how it will change their day-to-day lives. On top of that, you need to be a very good project and time manager. There's a good chance that you will have many different projects all going on at the same time with very different needs, and you need to make sure that you stay on all of your deadlines. Something that's a little more specific to environmental consultants is not only do you need to stay up to date on new business practices, new business models, and how different businesses are functioning, but you also need to know differences in environmental policy in different areas. You need to know how environmental science and environmental technology is changing, and how to integrate that into growing and changing business. Another very important skill is you need to be able to sell yourself, you need to be able to market yourself, and you need to be able to convince your client that your ideas are better than anyone else's. You need to be able to sell every idea you present. Finally, if you're going to be an environmental consultant, you really need to love the environment. You need to want to do this work because it's a lot of long hours at times, and it can be really tough. So when it comes to technology, most people think of that renewable energies such as wind, solar, water are the most important. And while those are incredibly important to environmental consultants, they are not the only important technology. Things such as waste management techniques or toxic waste substance cleanup are just as important for the role of environmental consultants. You need to be able to help your clients get rid of any byproducts or pollution that might come off of their business. In order to do this, many environmental consultants use complicated computer modeling systems that take into account everything down to what the pH of the water is around you, to what your air quality is like, to how many cars you use. These are very, very detailed systems. In order to make them as accurate as possible, many environmental consultants actually need to set up labs where they test the soil, the air, the water, because in order for this computer modeling software to be as accurate as possible, it needs this detailed analysis of the environment around them. So many developing countries, such as ones in Africa or China or India, they all need environmental consultants because they are setting up a lot of their industry now, and whether they are trying to just protect the environment or comply with the Paris Climate Agreement, they are in the best possible position right now, like while they're setting everything up, to make sure they do it in the right way. And since more countries around the world are invested in climate change mitigation, there's actually a growing number of people who are interested in hiring environmental consultants and in making their company as green as possible. So since many countries around the world are looking to comply with the Paris Climate Agreement, there's a large increase in different international areas for environmental consultants. Like I said earlier, the countries such as China, India, or countries in Africa, they tend to have some of the largest increases in demand annually, with up to about 6%. But even in the US, even though we are already set up, we are still looking at an expected 5% increase from about 2018 to 2022. That shows that US firms are still committed to trying to become more environmentally sustainable. And as we have new regulations, the demand for environmental consultants is only going to increase. Something about the employment for environmental consultants is that you have three main options. You have small specialized firms, which are able to give more one-on-one attention to their clients. Large one-stop firms that can handle anything from CO2 emissions to energy to waste cleanup all in one place. Or many larger companies now are actually having environmental consultants in-house. While these options allow movement for workers, the work is not precarious in the way that they have to worry about losing their jobs. It's more of it gives them options to look around. Some of the most important tools for learning are environmental journals, either published by academia or by the government. These allow environmental consultants to stay up to date on all the new research. But possibly even more important are these renewable energy and sustainability conferences, because it allows them to see not only what people are currently researching, but also where the environmental science field is heading and what they need to know for the future. So in general, if you want to be an environmental consultant, you need to be a strong communicator. You need to be able to sell yourself your ideas. You need to be well read in environmental science, and you need to love the planet.